Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be talking about 5 biggest mistakes I have made earlier in my career. I would say this can apply to any career path, so listen up. It doesn't have to be project management. So let's dive right into the video. The one mistake I will say is blindly listening to senior managers. And I will say this because it's natural for us to look up to senior managers for direction, for guidance, especially when you have senior managers that have been in the role for years or decades in an organization that you're just new to, or you have managers that have a very high level confidence that when they come up to you, they're like, yeah, do this, and you assume that they know what they're talking about. This can be quite detrimental in career. And I will say this because I have experienced this. It has been one of my biggest mistakes in assuming that this person know what they're doing. Do not, I will repeat it, never assume that somebody knows what they are doing. You have to continuously question and critically evaluate what instructions that are given to you, because at the end of the day you're the one accountable if it impacts your role, and that means that they will hold anything that happens. They will hold you. They will not go and hold the person that is giving you instructions or the person that is giving you guidance that was never documented. So you need to not assume, never assume, even if it's a slight assumption. Don't do it. Don't do it. Critically evaluate and question it. Number two is managing subordinates with strong personality. Oh my gosh, this is actually draining. Physically, mentally, emotionally draining. If you have someone like that, even if it's a colleague that has a very strong personality, they are strongly opinionated about everything, and that clashes with yours, please and please, like, I had a situation where I was involved in that kind of thing, and the team member was very competent, by the way, but always had a strong personality. And my kind of person is not some. I'm not someone that will come to you and be like, "Oh yeah, let's do this, and this is the exact thing to do." I'm someone that gets other opinions and see where I can find a middle ground to solve the problem. But if the person is very strong opinionated, it's very difficult, especially when there's a difference in personality. So my own lesson I learned from this is I try to avoid confrontation, because all those kind of things you get involved in conflicts and stuff like that. So I try to avoid confrontation, but I will tell you that is the worst solution, worst idea that I ever thought about in my life, because I have never been involved in that situation, but it is the worst thing to do, avoiding confrontation and leaving them to have their way. Don't ever do that. I will suggest, like, if you have someone in that category, what you should do is always address it heads on. So in any situation that you find yourself, right, and you are, this person is strongly opinionated, but you have your own opinion about it, and they're not backing down, just write an email. To be honest, emails just does the job, because email serves as documentation. It serves as people to be accountable for. You can be open to their ideas and say, okay, this idea, let's put it into perspective on your emails, and also be suggestive as well on your emails to them. That is actually great. But if you go into a Zoom call trying to be heads on and go into a Zoom call, it can lead to further conflict. So I would suggest, and one of the lessons that I have learned, the biggest lesson of all, is always go for the email. That is the safest bet, and that holds them accountable. If they come back to you through the email, say, I don't understand this, you explain it to them until they confirm that there is an understanding in the email. Three, itself, I would say, is role clarification, and this is very important. I have been a victim of this. Some organization, or before you apply for a job, it says the job description are very generic. So if you go into the job, they actually give you what to do. I would suggest there are some organizations that you go into that they don't even know what you're supposed to do, to be honest. They just want you to be in the role, and then you find time and start looking for what specific are your roles. And those organizations, there maybe is a new department that they have created, so they're not really specific in those roles. I would suggest before you start anything, you need to know which are your roles and responsibility. If you're the one going to create the roles and responsibility or the work plan, you need to make sure that all the seniors are copied into it. The work plans you're creating for your subordinates are copied into it. There is nothing like too much copying people. Like, you need to copy the relevant people, yeah, but don't there is nothing like over copying people. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you're over copying a lot of people. As far as you know that they're relevant people you're copying, you're good to go. So always make sure that the role is clarified. And in project management, that is very essential, because if your role is clarified, you know what to do, you know where to do it, how to do it properly, how to chase up properly, and that helps you a whole lot. The fourth one I will say is email as documentation. I will say this because I've fallen a victim of this a lot of times. This has been a lot of mistakes I have made, especially in my career. Now, let me tell you something. The workplace is like a survival zone. There are a lot of people that are trying to trample. They can even trample on you just to get to the top, and that's just it. That is the workplace. So, to be honest, if you want to really have evidence, really have proof of whatever you're doing, you have to document through emails. Emails are your best bet, because email serves as a legal binding. They even serve as an agreement when it comes to disputes. Also, email serves as accountability to colleagues. It serves as a timestamp for proper communication with colleagues. So you have all those documented in your email. So always, always, always use your email. Even if someone calls you and they're like, I want you to do something. I want to give you instruction. Maybe you're senior manager. I want to give you instruction of what to do with this and that. Please and please, like I say very well, please document it in your emails. Like, once you have the call, you can go back to the email to the person and say, as per our discussion on the telephone, this and this and this is what you requested, this is what we agreed to do, this is what I've done, if you've done the task, or this is what I'm going to do. And also make sure the person confirms it, because that confirms that, okay, you've done it. If you've done the task, you need to follow up on the email as well and say, yeah, I've done the task as per the instruction, as per the last email, or follow up on the email trail. All those are documenting, because I would say this: if you've never worked before in the office, or you've never worked before in a workplace, you're just coming out of school, you're trying to get involved in work, my dear, like, workplace is a survival zone. So you need to document everything you are doing. And then the fifth and final biggest mistake is neglecting to build relationships. And I'll say it and say it again: neglecting to build relationship. This relationship is very important. I remember in my beginning time of working, especially in the UK, I stopped trying to build relationship at certain points because of the work gossips. You see a lot of people just talking, talking, talking. I stopped trying to build relationship at certain point, but that was my biggest mistake, because I try to make sure that my work speaks for me, but it's not just about what you do. It's also about building a relationship, because a lot of people, like, they're not everyone that you see smiling at you is good. That's what I've realized, and that's one of the biggest lesson I've learned in my entire life. Not everyone smiling at you and say, "Oh, darling, how you doing?" is good. You don't know what is in the minds of people. And a lot of people, especially in the workplace, they can talk about you. Even if doing good things, they can just want to say bad things about you. So your work has to speak for you. Your rapport with people, building relationship has to speak for you. So building an essential relationship in your workplace can open opportunities for you. And if to say somebody is trying to be, very, let's put it, cheeky in a way with you, or is that the right word? Let's just put it cheeky. You need to have a rapport, and that rapport or building relationship with people can help you out. Although there's some people, and this is a general thing, there's some people that you can't get along with, like you can't, like it's a no. If you find that kind of people, you don't need to stress yourself. Like you need to work with them in a proper manner, a very good manner. But although you don't need to stress yourself to be friends, but if you find people that you can rapport with, is flowing, is going, try and make sure that that relationship is built to a certain level where they know you, they also know your work. A lot of a lot of times I've been in situations where a lot of people like I've not, and where a lot of people have come to me and be like, no, no, this is not how she is. And that is because of rapport that I've built since learning. So it's good to build rapport with people and build that kind of relationship. And I tell you, if you know all these things, learn from this, my mistakes that I've learned from, your life will be loads easier, especially working in the workplace in the UK. Really, very much easier. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned a lot, and I hope this serves as a development opportunities for you, those people going into the workplace after school. I hope this serves as a development for you. In that case, thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If you like this content, please hit the subscribe button below, and ciao.